Good morning. My name is Melissa.
I'm Rhonda.
She is excited.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
You're live.
I'm live. Hi.
Yeah, see, there we go. Let's try again. Good morning. I'm Melissa.
And I'm Rhonda.
And together,
we're MaverickRx.
we're MaverickRx.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, this morning I got up 5:15 and tackled the day. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Kate. I hit the grocery store, got that out of the way because I still have this schedule to keep with children and their learning, my exercising, and my work.
You're kind of freezy a little. Am I freezing?
No, you're not freezing.
I didn't plug in the Ethernet, so I was wondering.
We're plugged in. I don't know.
Huh?
Yeah, we're plugged in. Good morning, Britt.
Man, you really tackled the day. I did not go to bed till fairly late because somebody in the neighborhood, I don't know who, was having a roaring, bass popping, people screaming party at 12. Windows were closed and we could hear this. And I was kind of across the way somewhere over there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it finally shut down about 1. So I don't know. I was assuming someone had. I'm like, okay, well, we are in quarantine, people. Did you get the memo? Yeah.
Remember what we're talking about today?
Yeah, but I couldn't sleep. It was affecting my sleep.
That is frustrating. It doesn't happen in my neighborhood. As I mentioned, I live in a very quiet court. Yeah. My children are the loudest people here. So
it doesn't usually ever bother me, but I just had the question this is I've seen the social distance. There's no way that could have been a social distance party.
Well, you never know. Good morning, Dory and Renata and Aaron, Kate, Britt, Lisa. Good to see you, or good to see your names on the screen. So this morning we read, you guys, we've been reading this 40 words for 40 days pauses for Lent. And on Monday, the deal was Matthew 7:1, do not judge so that you may not be judged. And I have always taken issue with this, largely because I don't understand it. And maybe Rhonda, you can help me out with this. We have the tendency to constantly judge others. Too often we judge people for faults that we struggle with ourselves. Rather than face those things in our own lives, we see them in those around us. I have always thought of myself as a non-judgmental person. What people do is not, I don't know. It's never bothered me. There have been instances in my life, of course, where I've determined and maybe that person's not a good person for me to be around. Mm-hmm. And I think there's that fine line between feeling like a judgy person and feeling like protecting yourself or keeping yourself sort of in a healthier space.
Yes, there's definitely a fine line between that. I mean, I consider myself as well, usually not a judgy person.
Right. Well,
sometimes, except when people are freaking ruining my sleep and I'm getting pissed off because I want them to be quiet.
Yeah.
No. And I really don't normally even care about that. I would never be that person to pick up the phone and call the police. I would never, ever in a million years.
But I think I would if I felt like there was a safety issue or if it was, if it was harming, if there was some kind of harm coming toward my family or, but
I'll tell you what, I'm feeling judged every time I go for a walk these days
it's interesting. I just have avoided people when I'm out, like last night I walked for a while. and you just kind of like go to the other side of the street, or, you know, go in the street and go back. It's interesting the like looks you get from people though.
Some are very friendly, and then some are like, I'll say hi and they get nothing back.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
But so here's the part about this particular piece of scripture, Ron, that I've never really understood. So this is Matthew 7:3. Why do you see the speck in your neighbor's eye, but do not notice the log in your own eye?
Oh, I think that's typical. I think typically people are very, I've seen this across the board, and I think this is sometimes why even Christians get a bad name, because they come across very judgy. But half the time, those judgy people have a more, this is my experience, got a lot going on within themselves. So they're very much will look at what's going on with other people's to avoid what's going on in their own lives.
Oh, good. Yeah. Okay. Hang on to that thought for just a second.
Yeah.
Continue. We got a big shout out this morning to Miss Liz Seaborg. Is with
Hey,
us.
Liz.
Yeah.
I remember the days where you were my workout partner in class. Always up front with me.
She's always smiling. She's so great to be around.
Yeah.
So wonderful to see your name on our computer today. Mr. Joe, good morning. How are you?
Hello,
I'm sorry
Joe.
it took a while. You know, we didn't share our link this morning. I didn't get to that. We just got right into talking about judgy people.
Yeah, you just tackled it. It's a tackle the day kind of place.
I woke up, guys. I woke up and I said, today we're getting after it. We're doing it.
No, see me, I was looking at the clock. I'm like, okay, 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. I got 10 more minutes. So I literally waited till the last minute to get up.
I did not. My husband, so I said to Jamie last night, well, Grace is like really concerned because we don't have icing for our cupcakes.
Our cupcakes are almost gone.
Without icing. I told her that. I'm like, you could eat them without icing. And she's like, why would I do that? So anyway, last night I said to the family, I'll get up and I'll go to the store first thing so that we don't have to think about it. We got the food because we're basically down in, you know, like the scraps, the leftovers. Last night we had grilled cheese, you know. And I said, Dad's really good at waking me up in the morning. He is like so happy to be able to wake me up at 5 in the morning. It, I think, just makes his day to be able to wake me up at 5. Okay, so now I got the link there. Okie dokie. So then Dory said, is it judgment or is it questioning someone's choices? I think there's another thing, right? Like, what's the difference between judging and questioning someone's choices? Is there?
Well, I think there is, you know, like questioning someone's choices, obviously. But you don't have to like, I feel there is a difference between being judgmental about it and just kind of like making sure that whatever it is the choices are making aren't affecting your life,
right?
Or whatever. I think you want to obviously separate yourself from something like that. But right. I think passing judgment on anyone is, I don't know what to say. It's just not, I'm being judgy about passing judgment. Do you see how this is working for me? Not working well.
Vicious cycle. It's like, wait, what is happening? You're judging, you're not judging. Yeah, right. Dory's like, is there a difference? I don't know. Mr. Joe says that you're right, Rhonda. It means you see everyone's fault, but not yours. Matthew 7:3.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the things that I am terrible about. I'm sure there are lots. I know I take a nasty tone with my husband sometimes that I don't hear. And that's frustrating. I don't know. Seeing your own faults is hard.
It is. It's hard for most people.
Yeah.
unless you don't have any faults like myself, you just
Right. You just roll through the day happy as a clam. Good morning,
Yeah,
Grandma Karen.
No, I know I can be a pain in the neck sometimes. Actually, my husband and I are like, whew, we're like oil and vinegar right now. I don't know about any of you, but I saw the funniest meme yesterday. It was a picture of the Shining family. It was like Jack Nicholson, the wife, and the kid. And something like, this family was in isolation for a long time. They were okay. They turned out okay.
It turned out okay. Yeah. Kate's got a thought here. Making a decision about me and my life is different than judging someone's lifestyle or choices. Here's where I think it is. Here's where I think it is. If you, okay, so like yesterday we mentioned the Facebook mom groups that are like, why are they having their social distance beers on the driveways or whatever? Like
that's
social,
annoying.
What?
That's annoying. I'm calling them the COVID police.
COVID police. So here's the question so their point is the social distancing is in place only you're supposed to stay home. If you go out, social distance, and you should only go out for the essentials. Don't go out otherwise. Even though on the news they say, please take exercise, they're considering exercise essential, right? Because it is. If you're not exercising, you're going to go cuckoo, especially in this situation, right? So I think when you get into this like judgment issue, I'm gonna be honest with you. I certainly judge people, right? Like things that I shouldn't. I know that. Like if I see somebody out and I think they're wearing kind of a funny outfit, in my head, I'm like, oh my God, what were you thinking? Like, aren't you embarrassed? Right? like that whole shtick. But I would never walk up to that person and be like, dude, that does not look good. Right?
Right.
You can't like make that then step forward into.
I think a lot of people have understanding I think there's a part of being empathetic to others. There's judging and empathy go hand in hand a little bit. And I think a lot of people have a hard time with people not being like them. And if they're not like them, they can't come outside of themselves and see, like, they can't figure out why those persons are not like them. So then they have this constant, they don't have that empathy to be like, oh, I see how they feel.
Right. Or compassion.
Because for part of the problem with all of this, I have like, so you have the people who are like really worried about the virus. And then you have the people who are, lost jobs and are facing different turmoil from this. You have people who have, there are so many groups of different things happening with this, but some people that are in the one box can't empathize what's happening in the other people's boxes. And then they tend to point fingers there.
That reminds me, yesterday, Janet posted something, maybe it's 2 days ago. Did you see that? She posted something about like, before you go about judging why this guy is out doing his yard or why she's painting or whatever, maybe you have to take into consideration what's happening in their space. Exactly. And you have no idea.
You have no idea.
Like, maybe they're in a rocky place in their marriage before this happened, right? Yeah. And they are struggling to stay inside their house, or maybe he's depressed, or maybe she's an alcoholic and she's got to keep herself busy, right? To not drink. You don't know what people's experiences are, and to then pass that judgment because they're out. And, like there might be people at these driveway parties, which I don't know, because as I've mentioned, again, neighborhood slow here. Maybe they're dealing with postpartum depression. Maybe they're dealing with anxiety. Maybe they're dealing with a recent loss in the family. Maybe they're dealing with, Who knows? So to sit in your house and look out your window and act as if they're breaking all the rules, it's none of your business.
Exactly.
Right?
We live in a free country.
Yeah. There are lots of things you can
Technically,
do.
it cannot tell us. I mean, we're doing the right things as Americans, and
Yeah.
I think they're seeing a turn.
Mhm.
But for the most part, dude, worry about your box, right? Your
Mhm.
four little walls.
Oh yeah. Dory said, sometimes I see people and think, why are you wearing that? And then I immediately think, hey, maybe they just lost 80 pounds and feel good about themselves. Maybe they just left the house for the first time in months. It's true. Like you truly don't know.
And the thing is, if all of us always had that empathy side, I mean, and I'm not saying we all, if you say you don't judge ever,
Mhm.
then you're lying.
You're
I
lying,
feel,
right?
right?
Yeah.
So, but if we all were better about working on the empathy side of it,
Mhm.
it would be so much
Right.
better.
Well, like that second, so the second thought in that, when you see that person, or if you catch yourself like, oh my gosh, whatever it might be, the second thought should be, hold on. I don't know this person from,
Mhm.
so maybe they got something going on I don't know about.
And that one verse, the log one,
Matthew
Jesus explains that we first take out the log out of our own eye.
Right.
So, hey, work on yourself. Don't worry about anyone else.
Right. That's right. And nurture your compassion for the humans around you.
Yeah. Because that's what Jesus did.
Aaron said, I always try to stop and think, good for them. They beat to the tune of their own drum and don't care what others think. I envy that in a way. To be completely careless has got to be freeing. I think that it's impossible to imagine that anybody is carefree. Right?
There's some out there, I think, that are.
You think?
Yeah.
I bet they got worries. I think everybody has worries. Even if they say it, you know what I mean? Like
maybe you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Britt said maybe the folks at the driveway is like, maybe one of those women is an ER nurse, or one of the dudes is a nurse, and he just needs a minute to like talk to people and have a beer and feel like life is sort of normal.
It's kind of funny. I mean, well, I've never, I haven't been on Facebook that long, but this is like the first major event
It's
that I've been on, and I can't believe how much people like scold people. Like,
yeah, it's interesting, right? I think sharing as much positivity as we possibly can is the only choice. That's my opinion.
Like where those ladies go, I can't tell you how many times, and you guys can judge me, but where they're yelling and being like, wash your dang hands or stay in the house. Blah, blah, blah. I want to put the middle finger up in the comments.
I dare you to.
One day I might.
I double dog dare you to give him the finger on Facebook.
Who's with me though, right?
Yeah. Well, I think, yeah. Yes. Karen says everyone has worries, comes out in different ways. Not always good. Yeah, that's true. There's definitely ways to worry without in negative ways, for sure. Well, I hope that this day starts out good for you, and I hope Rhonda and I are helping you stay on a sane track, because it's certainly helping
today,
me.
Everyone should get outside today, because this is it for a while.
What?
The weather forecast looks grim after today. Yesterday was gorgeous. Oh my God.
Fantastic. You guys have got to go to this Sawiki Park.
Yeah, you said I might actually take the girls today.
It was awesome. So like I posted some things, but like the trails are like mountain bike trails, and they're not like loaded up with people. So you can like run, and it was so fun. It was like kind of running a course, like a hilly course, and you like turn around and do all this fun stuff. It was so much fun.
Where is it now? It's in Oswego.
So if you take, it's at well, what I guess technically it's Orchard and 71. But I just took 126 to Minkler and took a right and just took that up to to Fox River. And then once you get by the river, you turn left, kind of like over this big median, and you drive down by the river. It was gorgeous. I think it will be really beautiful in the spring when this actually, green
All
comes
the
up.
trees are coming
Hey,
up.
Dory says she'll love the comment if you give them the finger. And Adele says, yeah, do it. She's with me. Kate again recommends we hit snooze on Facebook. I wish I could hit snooze on Facebook, but it pays my bills. Okay, let's see here. Today it's going to start raining according to my app, which has so far been accurate at 3 o'clock. So get to it. Get your steps in outside before 3 o'clock.
Yeah, and tomorrow we have Kristen on.
Tomorrow, yes, our friend Kristen's coming on. You guys know her. Some of you maybe don't, but most of you do. Kristen is going to tell us a little bit more about how her fitness classes are going.
And then Friday, we're going to talk about making a new routine.
Yeah, that sounds great. Friday, we're talking about making a new routine.
And then Saturday, again, don't forget, we have Kelly, and you guys have to come on because she is so excited to tell this story.
Yeah, you know her. Wow. A lot of you know her.
A lot of you do. And it's, she lives in Michigan now, but she
moved from the Y and she moved up to Michigan.
One of her friends reached out to me, so to share her story. So I think it'll be very cool. So
she's an inspiration, that's for sure. I mean, I can remember the first conversation I had with her. She said it was at the beginning of her journey, and she said, how do you do this, like work and nutrition and all of it, right? And I said, I don't do all of it. Like something's got to give. And for me, it's largely always the first thing to go is cleaning my house, doing the laundry, right? Get behind on all that stuff. Yeah, Lisa Bohonik says she has an amazing story. And I got to give the approval on this, but Mr. Joe gave us the finger. Kelly Dillon. You can snooze individuals and it lasts for 30 days. Oh, you can snooze. I should snooze some individuals that are negative. I really honestly don't.
I actually do hide people's posts that I don't care to see anymore. That is just pure negative spewing. So I have hid some of them. Yeah,
the negative Nelly's got to go. I think positive only. You can only share positive stuff. It should be, I think Facebook needs to have like its own filter. Like if you're not going to lift somebody up today, shut it.
Right. If you don't have this is what I don't know. Did anyone not hear that? Their mom's not tell them? I think don't have anything nice to say. Please don't say it at all. That should be at the top of Facebook all the time.
You definitely have.
Don't have anything nice to share. Please don't share it. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah, there's a lot of moms that don't share that stuff.
Huh?
There's a lot of moms that don't teach that lesson.
No, I really. Yeah.
Not that I'm judging.
See, it's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle again.
Oh, geez.
All right. Any prayer requests before we go?
Any prayer requests before you go? We're frozen on YouTube. I don't know why that is. Who knows?
Are we leaving them with that? Is that our devotion for today?
We got to do it. You got one? I didn't have one. Besides that one that we just talked about. Where's your little book that's like the kicker book? That book just rocks.
Well, this one just popped up in my thing, so I'm just going to go with it. It's meant to be.
Okay. You know what, Rhonda? My hair is going to be so long by the time this deal ends. I might have to have you trim my ends or something.
Mine is getting really long too. Angelina's is so long.
Is it? I know Grace's is out of control. Remember that Flowbee?
What's the Flowbee?
I think it was called a Flowbee. It was like a hair thing, like a vacuum, and it like sucked your hair up and trimmed it. It's like back in the 80s. It was an infomercial for the Flowbee.
But I think we should try that out.
Yeah.
On you though,
Oh,
not on me.
okay. Grandma Karen says, when you talk about someone good, you feel good.
I agree.
I agree. When you share positivity about people, that's a good thing. I also think when you talk about stuff like books and scripture and movies.
Yeah, I was reading, you guys. I read yesterday.
Tell me more about the book you read. What'd you read?
What's that book I'm reading? It's called
Ripple Effects.
Yeah. There you go.
By Pam Tebow. So yeah, Kim Grispo recommended that to you, right?
Yeah, it's her book. Actually, I'm borrowing it.
Oh.
She said that she came up to me one day and she's like, I thought of you with this book. I think you would really like it. She's like, do you read? I'm like,
no, I think what her response was.
I said, Melissa and I.
Melissa reads and gives me the cliff notes, is what she said. Yeah, Melissa reads and then she tells me about it. This is the book that she's reading right now. Oh gosh, this light is bright.
But so I'm gonna set a goal for myself during this quarantine.
There it is.
I'm gonna try to finish this book.
Okay, I'm gonna finish it too, but I'm listening to it. I have 4 hours left.
But yeah, so I'm gonna set a goal.
Good. I like that.
To read it.
How much have you read? What have you read so far?
I think I'm like at 25 pages.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
A friend of Liz's, John, passed away yesterday. He was diagnosed with pneumonia and COVID-19 a couple weeks ago. Oh. How old is he, Liz? Gosh, that's just awful.
It is awful.
His wife Karen needs prayers, and the rest of the family.
Yeah, we will lift them up for sure.
Oh man, that's heartbreaking.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm too. It's getting close to us, folks. It's getting close to us.
Yep.
Well, let's lift up John's family and Karen, all the folks that are out there working. The nurses. Yesterday was World Health Day.
Yeah.
So they did the Thanks Health Heroes was the trending hashtag yesterday. Yeah, that is really, really heartbreaking. Yeah. That knocks the wind out of your sails, doesn't it?
Yep.
Poor guy.
We'll lift them up in prayer and we'll end on a prayer. All right.
I would really like to talk to someone who has been diagnosed with COVID and recovered, that we know for sure it was COVID, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to hear that experience.
The story.
Yeah. Like how it goes. And
mm-hmm.
Because I think, you and I think that we have had it before it was that. Before we knew it was that.
So the other day too, when I did a little photo shoot at work because we're trying to sell stuff online so that DNA stays alive, which we're selling stuff every day, so that's good. So took a few pictures of stuff outside at Sovereign, and I'm assuming one of the chefs came out. He's like, yeah, this is just crazy. He goes, I do think though, my uncle and my dad, I think they all had this back in December because they all went to the emergency room. They couldn't breathe and they tested negative for the flu.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, and something ran around here. He said, all of us were getting sick. And I said, and that's when I'm like, oh yeah, I think I might have had it too.
Yeah, you do. I really hope we get that test for the antibody.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, let's do
anything else? Anything else?
Any other prayer requests?
Britt's father-in-law and
Britt's in-laws still
in-laws in Africa.
How about the postal workers of the United States right now? They're still out there giving us our mail, folks.
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke, but I guess I shouldn't.
It's not the right time, Ron. Tell me again where you are in the book. What have you read about ripple effects?
Oh,
Let's wait on prayer requests and then we'll go through that.
I'm just like where, she's talking about all these different women who have made little, like they don't think they've made effects in other people's life, but they have, so
yeah,
it's kind of there.
I think the thing about ripple effects that I like quite a bit is the desire for most women, and I think this is probably
we're purpose driven. I think people in general.
Yeah, we're purpose driven, but we also want to have a positive impact on the circles around us. And I think a lot of the time in today's society, people are trying to make like these huge splashes, these big impacts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And really, you're making an impact in how you treat your family within the four walls that you live in.
Mm-hmm. That's
and
right.
That makes such a big difference to the people and how they then, how the ripple effects of that,
how they go out
into
mm-hmm.
the world and treat their friends and how they treat their teachers and how they treat, all of those
right.
people. So,
I think you're right. Like, I think one of the things she kind of said, it's when you realize it's not about you, it's about your relationship with God, it changes everything and what you are doing. Like, like it's not like you said, I think so many people want to make a big splash, and then it's just like little things that really matter, that really do matter.
For sure.
So
okay, I'm ready. You guys ready? I don't have any more prayer requests.
All right. I pray, this just popped up, so I didn't search for this, folks, so I think it's just one of those things. I pray that you stay hopeful and optimistic. God knows that your future is bright, and I pray that you'll know it too. So Hebrews chapter 10, verse 23, let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who promised is faithful. Our prospects are bright as the promises of God. Are as bright as the promise. I didn't read that right. Our prospects are as bright as the promises of God. What?
I said, so we're holding on to hope.
Hope. Okay.
Hope's getting it through today, right?
Yep.
All right, folks, thank you for joining us for coffee this morning. I hope you get out into the world before the rain comes. 3:00, we believe. And just remember, you can only take care of the 24 hours you have right here in front of you. You got 4 walls, you got 24 hours, and it's time to embrace the suck, right?
That's right.
Embrace it as best as you can.
Bye.
Amen. Hallelujah. Love you all. See you tomorrow morning.
I love you guys.